Once you've reached your goal weight, do you know what's on the other side? How should you eat, move, and live in order to not gain the weight back? That's an important question to consider, whether you're at your goal weight now or on your way towards your goal. Because who wants to put forth all that effort and not be able to hold on to it? Not me. You? Every step of my 80-pound weight loss, I was worried and fearful of gaining back the weight. In the beginning, there was so much about weight loss, eating, nutrition that I simply didn't know. The biggest thing I was clueless about was that eating in a caloric deficit is not meant to be a long, ongoing process. If you are eating in a caloric deficit for too long, there is a greater chance of us experiencing life-disrupting fatigue that we attribute to something else. Poor sleep and recovery, increased food cravings, loss of muscle mass, where we look flat and flabby, and don't even get me started on how crabby we can start to show up in the world when we allow ourselves to be in a caloric deficit for too long. It took several trials and errors for me to understand that for weight loss to be less painful and more successful and sustainable, eating and living at maintenance calories needs to happen more often than we think. Maintenance? Eating at maintenance calories is essentially eating the number of macro and micronutrient calories our body needs in order to maintain our current weight, give or take a few pounds up or down. Simple enough. The scary part for me was, how should I shift my behavior to make this happen when a good portion of our weeks and months have been spent being intentional with focus on keeping our eyes on the lookout that we are eating the right amount of protein, carbohydrates, and fat to impact weight loss, or evaluating if we are moving enough to support our weight loss. The thought of living life eating maintenance calories? Terrifying. Here are some shifts I've made that have allowed me to eat at maintenance more often than not without fear of gaining back all 80 pounds I've lost. My first game plan was to reconcile with the fact that I could not go back to the behaviors that got me in a weight jam to begin with.
So no, don't do it.
Essentially, creating a set of non-negotiables for myself. One of my non-negotiables is that I must serve myself. Any food I will eat. I will not stand in my kitchen mindlessly dipping my hands into the chip bag. No, I am committed to placing the amount of food I desire to eat on a dish, a napkin, a bowl, or something. But I will not engage in nibbling behavior that removes my awareness, that removes my self-awareness. I will eat mindfully. When moving into eating in maintenance, I found it so very helpful to take a few weeks to monitor and track portions of the various foods I wanted to start incorporating into my eating to best determine how much food falls within the range of maintenance, where I am not seeing an alarming spike in my weight or the fit of my clothes. You may find it helpful to move into maintenance with a little bit of ongoing tracking for a time, but not at the same level of exactness or intensity. This is where we get to grow in our ability to add in more foods that we love while retaining control of having a healthier relationship with food that we had established, hopefully, during our weight loss journey.
You did that, right?
Allow your shift into eating at maintenance. Let it be a gradual one. Avoid making a big leap into how many calories you consume. Instead, slowly increase your caloric intake. Taking the fast route of eating more too soon will not give your body and mind ample time to notice and appreciate the changes that naturally happen when our goal is no longer losing weight but maintaining weight. There will be some shifts up in there. There will be some body composition shifts. Not big ones, but subtle ones, and you'll notice them. Remember, much like fast weight loss is not recommended, increasing calories too fast is equally not recommended. Mentally, it was so beneficial for me to understand that transitioning to a maintenance way of eating, there will be a slight increase in weight. Knowing that an increase in carbohydrate and food volume will result in water being stored in our muscles, causing the muscles to look and feel a little bit fuller. And that's not a bad thing. What I've seen is so many others see that happen and they mistake it as fat, and then go back to eating in a weight loss kind of way. We don't want to do that. As you gravitate towards eating at maintenance, remember that with consistency, your weight will fluctuate a touch as it is trying to find its place of stability. This same principle applies to weight loss. Give the body time to acclimate to the changes you are asking it to make. Weight maintenance doesn't have to be hard if you insert a new goal to replace the goal of weight loss. Swap the goals. Weight loss used to be your goal and you focused and did everything that way. Now weight maintenance is your goal, so you focus and shift and do things in support of that. And then set other goals. Setting new goals for myself, some weight related, many are not weight related, was very crucial. It's still very critical to me being able to keep off the excess weight for over a decade now, particularly while being in the throes of postmenopause.
Anyone else hot, or is it just
I
me?
find new purpose and inspiration in learning more about nutrition these days, from the phase of how does that impact me at this point in my life at 51. Other goals are reaching different levels of fitness and exercise milestones. I want to do more push-ups and unassisted pull-ups without straining something and needing to ice myself for days on end. Much like weight loss, when we prioritize eating at maintenance, we get to experience less bouts of hunger because we stay feeling satiated longer, which leads to an increase in our energy levels, performance, and we experience a down-regulation of stress hormones. During maintenance phase, what will your new goal be? Which one are you most excited to start experiencing?